Hello everyone, Sid here back again with another tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to learn about how to create to-do application in Laravel 7. So I'm going to show you some example how our project will work. Okay, so now this is working in my local host and you can check here we have the options to create new task. Suppose I'm going to put task 1 something, okay, and click on add task. Once we clicked on add task, you can check we have the task 1, and also if you want to delete, just click on delete. So this kind of functionality we are working inside of this tutorial. Hope so you have already installed in your machine Laravel and Composer also. So if you don't know how to install Composer in your machine, you can watch my previous video. I have already explained in video how to install Composer in your local machine. Once your Composer install in your machine, then you need to install Laravel. So first of all I am going to show you. Here I have command some we need to write here. Now I am going to inside of my desktop folder. So now I am inside of my desktop folder. Once you get inside of your desktop folder, then you need to write Composer create dash project, then hyphen prefer dash dist space Laravel, again type here Laravel, and here your project name. Okay, so I am going to use to do Laravel. Okay, and hit this command. This command will take little bit time. So now our project going to installations process. So here you can check creating a Laravel/Laravel project at to do applications. Once this is done, then we need to configure our database. Okay, so now this process will take little bit time. Then here I am going to use next step. Here I am going to connect with MySQL. Then I am going to type MySQL space user minus space root @ 123. Now you can check here are created. Now create database and database name. We have given name to Laravel. Now you can check to do Laravel is created successfully. We have given name as a to do. Now I'm going to exit this command. Now once this is done, I'm going to close this one. Now you check our installations process are already ongoing. These are packages installing by the Laravel. Now hope so this is last one. Yes, this is done. Now what we need to do, we need to go inside of the project. We have written to do Laravel, then I'm using VS Code. Then how to open VS Code from terminal, you can check from here code space dot and hit this command. Now you can check we have VS Code, and inside of the VS Code we are going first of all .env file, just because we need to configure our database, and my database password is root @ 123 and root is username, and we have created database name is to do Laravel. Just I have created in my application. Hope so you already seen this how to create database. And now once this is done, we need to create one database table. So I am going to use right now VS Code terminal. I am going to clear this screen. I am going to zoom little bit so you can check from here. Okay, so now you can check here. I am going to type here all command run from start from PHP artisan. So once we have typed PHP artisan, then we need to write make migration, and then we need to type migration name first off. So I'm going to type here create table. Okay, so first, sorry, create task underscore table. Okay, so you can check here, we are written here already create task and table, then keep some space, again create under is sorry equal to tasks. Okay, so hope so this is clear for you. Now you can, I'm going to zoom this little bit so you can check. Okay, so now this will take little bit time. Once this is done, we need to configure inside of the database. We have migration folder, and here we have, you can check, this is already by present by Laravel, and now we are inside of the task table. Now what we need to do, we need to write here. So we have already id, which is the auto increment. We don't need to change this one, and here I am going to put string, and inside of the string I want to name. Once we have done, you can check, we have the create table class, and inside of the create table we have the up function, and here we have the down function. So now what we need to do, here I have created this one, then I need to migrate. Okay, so php artisan migrate. So migration is successfully done from my side. If you want check, you can use from the terminal. If you want to use workbench, you can check. Okay, so whatever you want, you can check from your side. I'm going to clear screen. Now this is done. Then what we need to do, again we need to create model. Okay, not again, now we have created migration. Then what I'm going to create model, php artisan make model and space model name. So first of all I'm going to create model. So now model also created successfully. You can check here, we have task model. Okay, this task model are right now blank. Okay, so once this is done, I'm going to close this one. Then we need to configure route. Okay, so we have route. Inside of the routes I am going to use web.php, and here we need to use http method, and I'm going to use sorry app. After that we have one model which name is task. Okay, now once this is done, then we need to use illuminate http / request, sorry not user is here, use. Now hope so this is clear for you. Now what we need to do, here we are loading welcome page, but I don't want to right now welcome page. Then what we need to do, here I am going to load page is tasks. Okay, so this one I am going to create inside of the route view task dot blade dot php. Okay, we will write some code here. Okay, so now we want task. Okay, so now what we need to do, suppose if we want print all of all code inside of the here, suppose we have created multiple things like name, id and password, something, so whatever we have created, so now we need to print in view folder. Okay, so sorry, view files. Then I am going to here, once anyone hit this one, I am going to create one tasks equal to model name is task. Then we will fetch from database which from order id. Then here sorry order id, and here created at, I will show you what is created at. This is basically column, and here ascending order we want. Okay, then variable inside of the task variable, sorry, I have written we need to here scope resolution operator. So I forget to write here scope resolution operator. Sorry. So here we have the scope resolution operator, then we are fetching from the table which is task model we have created. Inside this task we are fetching in directly for the task table. Okay, so then we are passing from here task variable, and then we will print everything's inside of the here. Okay, so once this is done, then we need to create first of all layout. Okay, so I am going to resource folder. Here inside of the resource folder I am going to create one folder which is layout. Okay, inside of the layouts I am going to create new file which is app.blade.php. okay, once this is created app.blade.php, I am going to use html5. Then here I am going to use title Laravel to do list. So now we have created here Laravel to do list. Then what we need to do, here I am going to use inside of the total I want to use fonts and I want to use style. I'm going to add here fonts family. Okay, so first of all I am going to inside of the here fonts.css I am going to this library, and how we can implement using link and just put here, and here for the bootstrap css I am going to use this one. I'm going to use this one. Bootstrap CDN I'm going to use this one, and also we need to use jQuery, so I'm going to use this one jQuery CDN. Let me go inside of my project. JavaScript code, here script source, not this one, we have already copied from here. So now CDN is there, and here one more things we need to add bootstrap CDN. okay, which is JavaScript code. Okay, here I'm going to put script source. I have added link here. Okay, so now JavaScript code is there, and then we will start from the body tab. I need to use navigations bar. Okay, so I am going to use here id is equal to app dash layout. Here I want to use navigation. Inside of the navigation I want to use class navbar space navbar dash header. Okay, so now I'm going to use here branding image you can use. Okay, inside the anchor tab I want to use one class. You can put navbar dash brand. Okay, so here if you want you can put URL. Okay, so basically root URL I have put it here. Now I want to use here name as a real programmer. Okay, navbar is done. 1 second, we have created some mistake. I want to use navigation inside of the container. Okay, we have created class div class to container. One more class I want, navbar header. Navbar header. Okay, I want to close this here. So this is done. Navigations we have created container. Inside of the container we have created navbar header. Once this is done, then what we need to do here, I am going to use here all content we will use inside of the here yield. Inside of the bracket I want to use content. Okay, now what we need to do here, javascript file we will put inside of the here. First of all, what files we need to use, jQuery and bootstrap. Okay, so you can get from here. Once this is done, jQuery and bootstrap, we have created successfully this app.blade.php. Then we need to add inside of the task.blade.php. Okay, so we are going to extends inside the bracket layout dot app. So layout is the basically folder and app.blade.php is file. Okay, now I'm going to use section. Okay, inside of the section I want to use content. Okay, what content we want to use? First of all, div. Inside of the div I want to use container. Once this is done, I am going to use div. Inside of the div I want to use call sm offset space 2 and call sm8. okay, once this is done, again we want to use one more div. Inside of the div I want to use class is equal to panel space panel, which is default. Okay, now again one more div. Here we will use panel heading. Okay, now what we need to do here, new task. Okay, here we will use new task. Give some space here and start from there. Create one more div. Inside of this div we are going to create class equal to inside of the bracket panel dash body. Okay, now what we need to do here, inside of the here we will print some validations. Okay, display validation errors. Okay, here include we're going to area. Also we need to use 1.4 file. I am going to create common dash here. Here we will create one more file inside the common. Okay, we're going to create common folder. Here we will use errors.blade.php blade.php. Once we will write some code inside of the errors files. Okay, so now we are included here. Okay, inside of this div. Okay, once these validations also we have created inside the panel body, then what we need to do here, again I'm going to tab here, give some space also here. We'll create for form new task form. Okay, here type, okay, I'm going to type form. Inside of the action, what we need to do, we need to put URL. Okay, inside of the URL I am going to create task. Okay, inside of this URL I am going to create start, and here give enter here, and here we need to use method equal to post we want. Okay, here post, and for because we are using bootstrap, so I am going to use class which is a bootstrap class, horizontal class. Okay, now here if you are using Laravel, then you need to always type here CSRF field. Okay, so I'm going to use two curly bracket inside of the CSRF underscore field. Okay, then bracket. So once this is done, CSRF also, then we will write here task name. Okay, so what is the task name? Okay, we will print here in div. Here we need to write class. Okay, so class is from dash group. Here is label. Once type here why you want basically for, so I'm going to use task dash name. Okay, and class here I want okay. Inside of the class also, one second, we need to put inside of the class this one, because this is class control dash label. Okay, so once this is done, then inside of the label I want to use task and hit enter, and here we need to use one more div. Okay, so we have created here label, so here I want to use div, and inside of the this div I want to use, because we have created here is a class call sm3, and here I want to use call sm call sm6. if I'm going to put call sm6. Okay, so now inside of this 6 I want to use input, and here text and name is equal to name. I want here I want to task name, so here I have created name, then give space and type here id equal to task dash name. Okay, now I am going to use class equal to bootstrap form we are using, so I am going to use form control, and once this is done, because we will also use here for the edit purpose, that's why I'm going to use task value again. If anyone hitting here again suppose, then after form validations again if anyone came, then we will use old text, which is if I enter any task name, then we will enter inside of the here. Okay, so this is basically in Laravel is old. Okay, so once this is done, then I am going to, after that one second, we have written here call sm6, and after that we have closed this one. Now we need to here add task button, so we can use this one also. Okay, so we have form group, and here we are already using offset, we can write here call sm we have. Okay, so remove this one for the name, we don't need right now, for we are using offset we are using sm. I'm going to use here offset and 3. Okay, then here I'm going to use call sm6, call sm space 6. Okay, now remove this one. We don't want this label. Okay, and I want here div not label, so remove this one. This div will close here. Okay, and so we are using here. Now remove this one, both of lines, and here I am going to use button. So inside of the button, just type here submit and give some space and type here class equal to btn space btn dash default. Okay, once this is done, type here and use sorry, we have written here is button, and here I want to use class. Inside of the class I want to use fafa dash btn plus. This is fafa icons basically. Okay, we have written here, and type here add task. Okay, so once this is done, then you need to come here again, and our form as we are working from here to there. Okay, so now we have this div, and now we are, one second, let me go inside of this. Here we have form, this one we have enter, and now I am going to here current task. Now inside of the current task I am going to use if conditions. If count dollar task is greater than 0, then div class is equal to panel space panel dash default. Okay, and then give here space and div class is equal to, we have written here as default class, and here I want to use panel dash heading. I'm going to here type current task so now here we have the current task, and inside of this div we need to use, I'm going to use basically don't need, we need to. Now I'm going to use here once we have the current task, and then I'm going to use div, and here I'm going to use class, and here panel dash body. Okay, once here I'm going to use table, and inside the table here I'm going to use table dash table that stripped space task dash table. Okay, so now I'm going to here I'm going to use head space th task, and one more is dollar nbsp. Once this is done, then table body I want to use for each dollar task has space task. Okay, so it is for each. Now we are going here inside the for each loop, tr, then here td. Inside of the td I'm going to use class. Okay, so here we are going to use class I am written here, which is table dash text. Okay, so now we have the table, we have td, we have the td, and here we are using already class is table text, and then I'm going to hit here, I'm going to use div, and inside of the this div I want to use task dash name. Okay, so we will print here td. Okay, once one td is there, and then I am going to use button for task delete button. Okay, so here I am going to use td. Inside of this td I am going to use form, and inside of this action I am going to use url, and here I am going to use task slash one second, we have written a task slash dot dollar task id. Okay, so maybe this is correct, and here I am going to use method equal to post. Okay, so we have written here task id, maybe this is correct. Okay, once this is done, then what we need to do use, I am going to use csrf field. Okay, once this is done, then I am going to use this one, method underscore fi method field. Inside the method field I am going to use delete. Okay, once this delete is done, then I am going to use button type is submit, give some space here, and class is equal to btn space btn danger. Okay, once this is done, then I am going to hit here, I am going to use I, again I am going to use this fa icon one more, fa dash btn, then we have one class for delete, so I am going to use fa trace. Okay, now I am going to write here delete. Okay, once delete this, also for the delete purpose we have created one more form. Okay, so then this td is done, and we have this tr is done, and here we need to use before body for each. Okay, so and for each. Okay, once this for each is done, then one second, tf this div, and before this div, one second, we have the table, we have one more div, remove space, I'm going to remove this one, this div, then here we need to write, and if okay, now this div, here we need to use, and section. Okay, section we have written here, section start and section end. Once this is done, then what we need to do, we have created error.blade.php, and here I am going to write at the rate if count inside the bracket error is greater than 0, then for error list. Okay, then I am going to type here div. Inside of this div I am going to use class, and class name is alert. Okay, because we are printing error here, so I am going to use danger class, and here I am going to use a strong, oops, something went wrong. Okay, we are writing here something went wrong. Once again, W is small, this W is also small, something went wrong. Then I am going to use br tag, sorry, br two times I want to use, br and br, and I am going to use ul. Inside of the ul I am going to use for each dollar error slash all. Okay, as dollar error, here you can type, and for each, and here li dollar space error. Okay, so once this is done, then after that this div I want to use, and if this is done, so also we need to write some inside of the routes, because we have created for the only for the get method, then we need to write here for the delete and for the update and edit something. Okay, then we have written here for the get method, then I am going to write here add a new task. Okay, for the task routes I'm going to remove this one, because we are using here post method, and if anyone hit here task, then what we need to do here, inside the function I am going to use request and space dollar request. And then inside of this route I am going to use validator, right here validator I have, because this is the variable, and we have the function for the validations is validator, and I am going to use make, and here I am going to use request all. Okay, so request all, then here is comma, then big bracket, and here I am going to put here name, then here is space and required. Okay, then this one max is 255 and minimum min 4. Okay, one second, let me check one more times. We're getting error something, but why? We have the validator, and here we have written here make after scope resolution operator, and now this is fine. For the name we want only, okay, we can write here or you can leave also. So we have this functions. I'm going to check if validator fails, this is a function, then we will enter return redirect. Okay, then bracket space, where we will redirect, going to use here we want to redirect with input this function here with headers dollar validator, this one. Okay, now here colon. Okay, here I am going to use task equal to new task is model, then hit task name equal to request space name colon save return space redirect. Once this is done, then we will start for delete task, delete and existing task. Okay, so we will return, I am going to use route scope resolution operator and delete method. Inside of this delete method I am going to use colon task, here I will use id, then here I'm going to write function. Inside of the function we need to use request, we have id. Okay, and then inside of this root we have id. Okay, if anyone hit here, then I'm going to call directly model find or fail $id delete is method, then colon return space redirect. Now everything is done from my side. I'm going to command run php artisan serve. This is working fine. I'm going to copy this command. Now check, this is working fine. Task creating new video This is working. I'm going to create delete, add task. This is also coming again. Delete this one. This is fine maybe. So hope so this is clear for you. Thank you for watching this video.